Good evening to you. Small thought for this afternoon. If you have your Bibles with you, please go to Psalms 139. Psalms 139. And we'll be looking at verses 13 through 16. Psalms 139 and verses 13 through 16. And it says, "For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them." Let's go back to verse 13. For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. Back in the old days, when a woman found out that she was pregnant, she would start the knitting process of making her baby's clothing. She couldn't go to Walmart and buy, 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 outfits. She had to make them, which is why we often have the picture of a pregnant woman maybe in a rocking chair, knitting, singing. And I think of that and how the mother is knitting for the baby that is to come. And while she is doing that, we read here that God is knitting together or putting together the baby which is in her womb. And I think that's an interesting thought, that at the same time, two beings are knitting. One is clothes for the baby to come, and one is God, who is knitting together and putting together the actual baby. Going on to verse 14, it says, "I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Do you realize this? Do we realize this? That we were made fearfully and wonderfully? My youth minister from high school would tell all of us kids, because we had a big population of the youth group that were from children's homes, and so they didn't have parents that took care of them. And he would tell all of us that God didn't make any junk, that we were all special, and that we were all fearfully and wonderfully made. And moving on to verses 15 through 16, "My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me, when as yet there was none of them." God made us however He wanted to. He didn't have a bunch of ingredients in front of Him and put them together. He made the ingredients. He made everything that makes up who we are and what we do. And going back to verse 14, I think of the last phrase in that verse. My soul knows it very well. Do we really realize that we were made by God? And God, being who He is, the most powerful and loving being in the universe, God don't make no junk, as it said. So my challenge for us this week is to realize that all of us are special, that all of us were knitted together by God. And if you have small children, or if you know someone that maybe they don't have parents that tell them that, or they don't have family that tells them that, I hope that you do. I hope that we all tell people that we love that they are special and that they were made by God. Also, my challenge for us this week is for all of us to read through and to study Psalms 139. And that's because next week we're going to be in the same chapter again. So look over 139, and I will see you again next week. Thanks, and have a great day.